Hi, everyone. Aaron with you. I'm really excited about this podcast because this was something I'd never done before, to run a virtual podcast with 4 bands and a president of an organization. It was kind of tough, so you got to bear with me on this one, but it was really, really good. So on the podcast today, we have the president of Just Live. It's a nonprofit organization that focuses on suicide prevention and awareness. And we also have with us 4 bands that are going to be playing for a concert that they normally do every year. However, because of COVID-19, they have to do they have to do the concert virtually. So they're going to do the whole concert in one day, but they're also going to break it down into separate segments of the bands. So the bands that are going to be there are going to be Georgia Ray Family Band, Jenna and Martin, Good Morning Bedlam, and Them Coulee Boys. Super fun to talk to and definitely care about the organization and what it's all about. So that's all I got. Enjoy this one. Check out Just Live and let's roll. Start recording here, so we should be good to go. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Center for Suicide Awareness podcast. This is, I'm not going to lie, one of the most different ones I've ever done before with people. I have 5 different people in 5 different parts of the country right now. And honestly, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm really glad that we're doing it. So we are here with Robert from Just Live. Robert, what exactly are you the founder? Are you the co-founder of Just Live?
I'm the president of Just Live. I took over that role just this year, so just in time for COVID.
Of course.
So we're basically shifting gears, and making the best of it this year with the virtual festival.
And that's amazing because at least you're still trying to do something, even in a time where really we didn't even think concerts were going to be a thing anymore this year. And it's really interesting because you all changed it to virtual. So kind of run me through the process of what happened, or like what was the idea that you said, we're still putting this on, but we're going to do it in a different way?
Yeah, so as everything kind of began to shut down, we saw the writing on the wall. So we immediately started considering what was important to us this year. It was important to us to continue to get the messaging out there, especially with everything going on. We knew there would be a larger need than ever. We wanted to make sure that we're still taking care of the bands because artists were taking such a hard hit with this, and they are such a big part of us being able to do this festival every year. And then the opportunity to still raise funds for a lot of the programs that we support. We were fortunate enough that last year we raised a little bit over $90,000 that we were able to put right back out into programs. So we know that they really heavily rely on that money that comes from this festival, and we wanted to see if we could find a way to still capture the momentum, get the messaging out there, serve the bands that serve us every year, and raise the money that's essential to a lot of those programs.
That's fantastic. And it's just so great that you have a bunch of different people that are always on board with helping this organization, because more than ever right now, mental health and suicide prevention is by far the biggest need, I think, through COVID. I mean, yes, granted, COVID is, impacting physically everybody, but the mental illness, the anxiety, the depression that people are going through, that's the second wave. It really is. And it's a horrible thing to have somebody have to go through. So for you to, raise that awareness and really give everybody, some big push to get through that, or to at least do your part in this, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and it was an easy sell for us too, because we were really excited about this lineup this year. We have so much character in this lineup. We have such diversity in the sound of these individual artists and groups. And it was a huge bummer when we first came across the idea that we were going to have to cancel the physical festival, because we were so charged up to have this lineup. And so a credit to these bands. They have been amazing to work with, and how much they've just worked with us and how patient they've been as we're, figuring this all out and putting the pieces together. They've been extremely supportive all the way.
And Robert, that is a wonderful segue to where I am going to be going now. I have the 4 bands with me on this Zoom call, and they are probably just like, what is going on? Who is this guy? But it's really cool because this is the first time they've ever met too. If you guys want to just go one by one, we'll start with the Coulee boy, or them Coulee boys, excuse me. You guys want to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about yourself, and we'll...
Yeah, sweet. We are them Coulee boys. We're from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. This is 60% of us. We have 2 other guys that usually are rolling with us, but not tonight. I'm Soren, staff, and this is my little brother,
Jen's staff,
and this is my friend,
Neil.
Yeah, and we play Americana, folk, bluegrass, rock and roll, whatever kind of stuff. And we're just happy to be a part of the festival. Every step of the way, like especially with it being like canceled and everything, we just expected it to never hear from it again, and it's just been a joy to like, hey, we're still gonna be able to do this, it means a lot to us.
That's awesome, and I'm glad that you guys are still being a part of this, and it's just something that it speaks volumes that you're really still doing something for the organization. So you said you're 60%. Where's your other 40, and who are your other 40?
We have Stash Hobley as our drummer, and Stash is playing drums for there's like
a fundraiser
gala in Eau Claire tonight. So he's using his talents that way. And our banjo players' wives, brothers, girlfriend got COVID. So we're just like, we're playing it safe, and he's staying home.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the chances are really, really low, but we just thought, let's keep him home tonight.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's important, though. At least you guys are still checking it. And that's the thing. Everything's so uncertain right now. So you want to always take precautions and do whatever. So that's awesome. I'm really glad that you guys are on board. And we'll go to the next band, Good Morning Bedlam.
Hey, what's up? I'm Isaac. I'm from Good Morning Bedlam. My 2 other members may be popping in and out here soon.
Well, you just said you got done with a gig actually just now.
Yeah, we're doing a social distancing show, so they are actually selling merch right now.
That's not a bad thing either.
No, not at all. And people tend to like them a lot more, so they're out there. I'm over here. Yeah, we're a folk rock band from Minneapolis, folk rock, folk pop kind of thing, really harmony based. And we all 3 of us we switch lead vocals, 2 female, 1 male. And we're so excited to be part of the festival. And I think this cause is so important. And so it's so cool to see it be able to go on regardless and in spite of everything that's going on, because I totally agree with what you were saying, which is it's so important right now. Just the toll on mental health as well as physical health that all this is taking. So we're just so excited to be part of it, honestly.
And that's really great. And I'm glad that, and it goes for everybody. I know you guys are all passionate about this organization and what they're doing, especially in a time where really, I can honestly tell you, I did not think I was going to be going to or seeing any shows whatsoever in 2020, which still kind of is true, but at least bands are adapting and they're making themselves a little bit more versatile, obviously with the use of Zoom, with Twitch. It's really cool. And I love the fact that you're still doing social distancing ones. So just kind of explain how exactly you did that tonight.
Yeah. So, usually we're in venues and doing in ticketed shows and stuff like that 9 months out of the year. But basically what we started doing is just letting people know that we're doing stuff on driveways. So the cool thing about doing driveways or really big open backyards is that neighbors can come over and they can use their own bathrooms, bring their own beer, bring their own snacks, and everybody can spread out. And then they're close enough to their homes that the whoever is technically hosting, all they need is an outlet. We set up. That's actually been such a pleasure to do. And honestly, for a summer, it beats hanging out in dark bars. And
Right. Yeah.
I mean, not that I don't love that, but it's been a really cool experience, and people are hungry for entertainment, and they're hungry for community. So it's been a really, really special experience this summer.
100%. And when you say that, it's funny. I just read something today about how there was so many bands that obviously had to cancel so many tours, and, you know, everyone's really bummed. But just think of it, you know, when this gets reopened, every single band, there's going to be so many concerts, so many things that people are going to. You're going to have every weekend busy. So, but no, that's great. I love that. And again, thank you so much. If you're two other people, Isaac, is it Victoria and Sophia?
Yes. Tori and Sophie and me.
All right. Well, if they pop in, we'll definitely talk with them too. So, all right. Next on the list is Jenna and Martin. So Jenna and Martin, I'm assuming that's your first names or that's the name of your band, but yes, go ahead. Please introduce yourselves.
Yeah, so my name is Jenna Ray.
My name is Martin Farrell Jr.
And we're from Lawrence, Kansas area. And we say that we play cosmic Western music.
Cosmic Western music. Full disclosure.
We say it's a combination of country, rock, bluegrass, and gospel.
Full disclosure, when I read your bio, cosmic, I go, is it like a space, like techno-y thing? And I'm like, oh, but no, that's really awesome. How did you get into that? What exactly kind of made you say
Can get a little spacey?
Spacey, there you go, yeah. So what, kind of tell me about your band, how you guys got started.
Well, we're, I guess first off, we were bluegrass musicians. We're both banjo players. We met at the Walnut Valley Bluegrass Festival here in Kansas. And our band started playing together, and then we started playing together and formed a group.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So is it just you two, or do you guys have a backing crew, or?
So we do play with a full band sometimes. We were hoping to bring the full band for Labor of Love, but it ends up it's going to be just the two of us. So just with everything going on with COVID, we haven't had a chance to get together with our band recently. So it'll be just the duo. So our album that we released is called Cosmic Western Duets, and it does have like a full band on it.
Sure.
It'll just be the two of us for Labor of Love.
And we typically tour as a duo right now, so
probably more common that it's going to be less is more at this point. But so what exactly kind of got you into the driving motion of really starting the duo as opposed to doing the full band? Well,
we had like a 6-piece band for a while, and it was fun. It was good. And then we just wanted to start traveling and touring more. And so we brought it down for the duo, and there's really a lot of opportunity, playing restaurants, and there's just a lot of opportunity, we think, for duos. And, especially now we live together, and, we're not exposing anybody by playing together.
Right.
So
that's typically how we practice. And then, payment too is like, it's easier to pay 2 people than 6 people.
Totally. I can imagine that.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. The more people you have, the more money is going around. No, I totally understand that. And no, that's really cool. And I'm glad that, you guys are on board with it. So what does this show mean to you? What exactly is like, this opportunity came to you? What was the driving force behind it, saying, yeah, absolutely, we're going to do that?
Well, suicide is something that affects pretty much everyone's life. And we have some family friends that are involved. My friend Kathleen Mullins is the vice president of Just Live. And so she's very involved in this festival. And we played last year, and they asked us back, and we couldn't think of a better thing to support, especially right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks again to Robert for keeping the spirit of the organization and not giving up on this, because we really feel like some big things are gonna
come out of it. Yeah. And last year whenever we played, something else that I noticed is like just the community of the people that put on the festival. Like a lot of people that are involved in putting on the festival have had someone pass away from suicide, and I think it's just everything about every aspect that is involved in the festival, is really important to keep going. And, with everything right now with music, it's like, if you don't keep it going, you don't know if it'll be there next year. So it means a lot that everyone's trying really hard to make the festival happen this year.
Absolutely. And you guys hit it on the head that suicide doesn't discriminate against anybody. And it's something that's literally, I would say 90% of the population has been some way affected by it. Personally, I before I did this job that I kind of explained to you guys before the podcast started, I was a police officer for 12 years. And I know how many lives it affects once it happens. So the more awareness we can raise to that, the more that we can prevent it or do steps to prevent it. That's huge. So again, I think you guys hit it perfectly. So thank you so much for that. And last but not least, we have Georgia Ray. And I believe, is it Georgia Ray Family Band?
Yeah, I got the whole family band together, but we all don't live together anymore.
Sure.
So it's a little harder to coordinate everybody. I was going to try to get my sister on the Zoom call, but she is a hairdresser, so it's a very busy time right now.
Oh, I can imagine. Is that Kelly Joe?
Yes.
Kelly
Joe,
Joe.
my best friend, my sister. She's my sister first and my best friend second. And we write a lot together. We actually played, I just realized I'm wearing the Labor of Love shirt from 2013 that the first time we went. And since then, we have grown significantly into our style and our writing. We write a lot about our own personal development and our own internal struggles like everybody has. So I'm really excited to be sharing our family band music with Labor of Love this year because, we've really sunken into our style, and I'm very excited to share.
That's awesome. So what is your style of music?
I'd say it's kind of Americana. We grew up trying to play bluegrass, but every time we'd play, people would be like, "What style of music are you?" We're like, "Well, I guess we're not bluegrass."
It's whatever style you want it to be. I think that's just always what it comes down to. And so is it, you said it's the whole family band, but is it just going to be you two?
No, it'll be, my mom plays guitar, and then I have a good friend that plays bass. His name is Joe Burry. And it'll probably be the four of us at the whole show.
That's awesome.
And it's been such a long time since we all played, so I've just been, throughout the whole quarantine, I was sending them a bunch of recordings of all these songs I'm working on. And so that's really, really fun. I can't wait. We still have yet to practice, but it's going to be great.
I read something very interesting before the podcast about you, and I don't know if this is true or not, and I want to see if it is. Is there something about you being the best fiddle player or something like that do you know?
Well, I mean, I've won some state fiddle championships.
Don't discredit that. You sound like it's no big deal. And
well, I mean, because I don't know. I'm not good at tooting my own horn.
Nobody is. No. So okay. So tell me about that. What exactly? Two time, 3 time, 10 time? What do you got?
Oh, my mom's really good at this. She would tell you right away. I think it's 3 times in Illinois, Wisconsin, and Minnesota.
Wow.
And
no kidding. Wow. Jesus.
A few years ago, I was twin fiddling with my old fiddle partner, and we won the national twin fiddle contest.
Oh my God.
So there you go. That is exactly why I wanted to ask you, because I saw that and I don't know why it just registered with me, but I'm like, I have to ask her about this. So no, that is actually something you should be very proud of because one, I wouldn't even know how to hold one. So there you go. But no, that's fantastic. And I'm so happy about it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just really cool because you've also, you've been ingrained into this since you said 2013. So it's great that is this their first time playing in this?
We played back in 2013, and then I've been attending the festival as much as I can since then. I was there last year. I played a small solo set with just my fiddle and my loop pedal over by the kids section. So I had a bunch of the kids dancing in between the magician. That was his cool magic. And so I don't know. I just love this festival because it is such a great cause, and it's a great opportunity. Even now that it's virtual, it's a great opportunity for us all to get together and celebrate love.
I'm so glad that, you all are on board for this, because I think it means more to people than you realize. It's you guys doing, one, it's doing your passion that you love to do is play, but two, you're playing for a group of people that are all there for the same reason, that they've either had some sort of, issue with suicide or mental illness. They go hand in hand. So and that kind of segues me into my next question. Coulee boys, question for you guys. Yeah, I know I'm putting you on the spot here. What exactly has been kind of the driving force that's kept your band together all these years?
Oh boy. Family. I feel like, yeah. Jens is my little brother, so yeah. I'm obligated to love him.
Yeah.
But Bo, our banjo player, me and him met, my God, 9 years ago, I think. We worked up at a summer camp in northern Wisconsin. We were camp counselors, and
which one?
Luther Park Bible Camp in Chautauqua, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And within half an hour, we were just shooting the bull. We were just best buds. And then 2 years later, we started a band when Jens came, and Jens was working at the camp too.
I was their boss for a little bit too.
Well, yeah, that's all right. You can always throw that in there. Yeah.
So that's been a common theme in everything we do. And we treat the people that come to our shows as family too. So much of our songs are intensely personal. And I think when you're letting people in that much, it kind of creates that sense of closeness or intimacy that, obviously people latch onto that and then they like it, but it gives it back to us too. We've had so many wonderful conversations with people hey, your music did this for me, you did this for our family. And we keep adding to that family. Neil's been with us for the last 4 years now. And our drummer Stash has been with us for the last year. And it's I think that focus on just lifting one another up is kind of what has kept us together. You hear horror stories sometimes about how big of turds people can be in bands.
Yeah.
It's I just can't fathom that, because these are my dudes. These are my brothers. So
that's I think that's super important. I really do. The one thing that was really interesting, because I said, I did just a little bit of research on everybody. If you want to call it stalking you all, whatever, that's fine too. But yeah, right. Yeah, it's cool. I saw a video, and I cannot remember the name of it, but I remember seeing it. It was it almost looked like you guys were in a barn, and it was an intimate show, or it was maybe just you and the camera, you're the band and the camera, and you were singing a song about anxiety. And I know it's one of your staple songs, right?
That song is called My Anxiety and Me.
Yes.
Yeah. And we, mental health has been a center of a lot of what I write about. It's something that I deal with every day. Mm-hmm. And, and then I've had friends that have been affected by it. So, that was more of this past week. We put out a record a year ago next week.
Really?
Yeah, right. Isn't that crazy? Haven't toured. It's birthday.
Yeah, right.
But no, that song is kind of the whole record is this it's kind of this journey to self-acceptance, and it's framed as a journey to some relationship, but it ends up being about coming to grips with who you are and navigating that and making the most of that. And that song is kind of ties everything that I said on the record together. And and it really just came from a point of like, with our other songs that are kind of in that vein, like we take that time on stage to like talk about mental health, to talk about like mental illness, and like, you know, and just like encourage people to be the person that's gonna reach out, be the person that's gonna be there. That was something that was important to us. So like, it just made sense to keep talking about stuff like that. The more we talk about mental health, the less of a stigma there is about it, and the more people that are helped because of that. And
true.
So like, yeah, so, you know, we're like, how we can do that is just keep making songs about it. So that's
the reason I brought that up was because when I was watching it, I was watching you in particular, because you're the one saying it by yourself.
Right. Yeah.
But you had your eyes shut, and it looked like you were so into that song, and it was just so personal, and so that how could anybody who's listening to that not be affected by that in such a positive way? To say like, oh my God, that's a huge thing that you're sharing with the world, and all of a sudden you bring in, like you said, this whole family that's out in the crowd, and they can feel exactly what you're feeling. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, like, I close my eyes now because when I keep them open, they like roll back into my head, and I didn't realize that I would do that. So we would cut videos, and I would just be like I would look like I was like
like you're gonna pass out.
Yeah, and so like it became like that. That's like my
Safety net.
My safety.
Sure.
Net. Yeah, just like I can escape to that and like get through it. Because I mean, I get emotional sometimes when I sing, and like you turn off some of the senses and you can get through it, kind of thing. So yeah,
I was just gonna say, don't answer that, because that's a question I have coming up here. So
no worries.
Yeah, no. So no, that's awesome, and I, like I said, I just want to kind of give everybody a kind of a thing that I picked out from them. So so Isaac from Good Morning Bedlam, I saw something in your band that I really thought was cool. You guys do very artistic videos. If you guys have not watched them, there was one in particular, and I don't know if it was Victoria or Sophia, but she's walking on a beach, and that's one shot. It's this continuous shot, and then you guys come into play, and then it just zooms up. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we actually had we used to play as a 4-piece, but we took it sometime as a 3-piece, and now we're a 3-piece again. But we used part of that time when we were a 3-piece to pay our 4th band member cut to a photographer and a videographer, and brought them on the road. And that video was so much fun. We shot that just south of San Francisco, California, when we were touring out there. And that was all shot on a drone.
Yeah.
And it took us 2 days to get right. And
which is weird, because it looks like it's just one shot the whole time, like just straight one shot.
Well, it is one shot. It just took us 2 days to get a good shot.
Gotcha.
We had some issues with we were on the wrong beach at first, and we had some security officers come let us know that we had to leave or we were going to get fined a lot. So we were hopping around trying to get things done. That one was so fun. That one's about 2 years old now. And I would say, as far as artistic videos go, really what it is about when you're starting a band is just have really cool friends,
right,
who want to make art as well. I always joke that if I ever start a band again, that I'm going to hire a videographer, a car mechanic, graphic designer, and they can all learn instruments later. That's right. Just the first requirement.
I say it's better to look cool than actually, sound cool, I assume, right?
You can learn 3 chords on the guitar, but
exactly. No, that's awesome. And just the reason I brought that up was because I also saw another one, and I watched it twice because let's just be honest, I didn't understand it. I'm not the most artistic person in the world, but I can't remember the name of the song, and I apologize, but it was 2 guys walking together right in the beginning. One guy walks out, and then he either gets beaten up or stabbed or something, and the other guy comes in, and it just cut to this great black and white. It's very artistic, I guess is the best way to put it. And it's just, I think it's really cool that you can integrate that into exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, that's actually the first music video we ever put out from our first record. Man, I haven't even watched that for a while. That one's called Prodigal.
Yes, that's right.
That one was once again directed and filmed by a few friends, and we like to leave that one. Oh, I'm being joined here by our fiddle player Sophia.
Hi.
Nice. Hi. Did you sell lots of merch?
Oh, I got some names for house shows.
Even better.
Yes.
Better. Yeah, he was telling us about your driveway house shows.
Yeah, those have been really great to be able to do.
Yeah, well, we're talking about Prodigal right now, and the music video for Prodigal, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's been a really long time.
Yeah.
We kind of like to leave that one up to interpretation. I think one thing about our songs that we get at shows a lot is we like to describe ourselves as sad people writing sad songs for sad people.
Okay.
But the feedback we most often get is people coming up to us at shows and saying, there's a lot of hope in the stuff they're hearing in our music, and that we really want our music videos to reflect that as well. And so that one, it's kind of a dark music video, but I think there's also a lot of hope in that.
Yeah.
And it was just really fun. We kind of got to play ghosts.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we were in that video.
That's the role I was born to play. So
it was so cool to kind of see that. And like I said, I told Isaac right before you came in there, I said, I didn't understand it, but I like that you leave it open for interpretation. You're not telling the story. You're just telling a bit of it, and you get to fill in the rest, or the viewer gets to fill in the rest. And I think that's just really fantastic.
Absolutely. And that's kind of our viewpoint on songwriting as well. Mm-hmm. Like there's definitely individual meanings that we have behind and circumstances that we have behind the lyrics. But we like to be able to, once you put out art, it's very much owned by whoever's listening to it or reading it or viewing it. And we like it to be that way. I think good poetry is applicable to a lot of people, and they can apply it to their own lives and their own, emotions.
I think that's the right way to do it. With anything I listen to, you always have to relate it. It's always going to be related to you. And I think it's just really fantastic that you guys are able to have that vision and say, look, this is up to you how you want to interpret it. But I think it's huge. And I really keep doing them. I mean, if you're confusing me, I mean, they're obviously doing well, because again, I'm not the most artistic person whatsoever, but I really liked it. And again, thank you guys for that. So Jenna and Martin. So the one thing that I noticed about you guys and gal, excuse me, it's such a Midwestern thing. I don't know if it is for you, but we always just say you guys, you guys. Thank God. All right, because I'm trying.
Say y'all down.
Y'all. I've been trying. That's actually what I've been trying to say is y'all. The one thing I noticed about you was it's kind of opposite of Good Morning Bedlam. I couldn't find any music videos of yours on YouTube, but I did find lots of live shows. And there's one in particular. It's just you two sitting on a hammock, and you're in front of this big, like, I don't know if it's a microphone or what it is, but I loved it. I thought that was just so cool. So tell me about that.
Well, the microphone is a special microphone that we use. We met the folks that make them. They're called Ear Trumpet Lab, and it's made by this father and daughter. And so we got one of those because it looks so cool. Yeah. And then we've been trying to make our own videos just, during quarantine. And
sure.
We do more of the live videos than music videos. I have a couple music videos. So we both have our own albums. And then we, play all those music together. But yeah, that song, actually, we wrote that song. What is that called?
Was that for your brother?
Yeah, we wrote that song for my little brother's wedding.
Which brother, though? We wrote.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Wedding songs for our brother.
We've written a lot of songs for other people, and that one we wrote for my little brother, and we did that. We recorded that video for his first anniversary.
That's awesome.
Endless Love from You. That's what that song is called.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Check that one out on YouTube. I really enjoyed that one. I just thought it was so, and that was just recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying.
Yeah. We just decided with everything, we live out in the country, so doing the live streams is hard for us. We've done a few, but either it gets disconnected or people say like it's delayed or something.
Right.
So we've just been doing, just recording videos with like quality sound since COVID and everything, and just putting those out for friends and fans to enjoy. So
that's awesome, though. I think that's, again, with something that's so uncertain, such as COVID, having an outlet of some kind, and even just sharing your talents and everything with, especially like you said, your little brother. I'm sure he was probably ecstatic to see something like that.
Yeah, they liked it.
I'm sure they did. So what has been kind of the one thing that this organization, or I should say Just Live or Labor of Love, has meant to you?
Well, I would say the first thing that comes to mind is we sang "May the Circle Be Unbroken," and that, we really love our gospel music, and that's just one of our favorite songs. And to hear that that's like kind of the theme song of this whole thing, and we just we fit right in. There's a lot of love. If you've ever been to the festival, it's just, you kind of feel this connection with everybody. And I always used to vacation up in northern Wisconsin, so it's a beautiful area. And
where?
It was Lake of the Woods.
Lake of the Woods. All right.
I think it was Lake Namakagon, actually.
All right. I have no idea what.
Where Big Mo. Big Mo.
I've been on the Namakagon.
Big Muskie.
Big, yeah. Oh, of course. Oh, sure. Yeah. Like by Hayward.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. No, I unfortunately had never been to the festival, but I've been doing so much research on it, and I can see how this could just be such a connected environment to have people in. And I think it's just really cool that it means something to you, even though you have a connection within the organization. It doesn't matter. You're still saying, yeah, this means something to me and I want to contribute.
Yeah. And the people that put it on are also, last year you're just hanging out with them. Everybody was so awesome to work with. And then towards the end, I kind of started hearing the stories of why people were involved, and, just mothers that have lost children, and, they all have a lot of hope, and they support each other. And it was just a lot more than we've, done a lot of festivals, but this one meant a lot more than any of the others.
I'll say there's a lot of superheroes involved.
There are.
Yeah, absolutely. And survivors of suicide, definitely, they have this bond that is so strong, but unless you've gone through something like that, you'll never understand it. And, we hope nobody ever has to, but at the same time, you're perfect. You're perfectly right. It's very powerful. So, but thank you guys for that. And like I said, I think that's just an awesome microphone in that video. I really like it. So Georgia, I know I already talked to you about your fiddle playing. So that's what I wanted to hear about. But what does this festival mean to you? I know you said you've played it a couple times, but has this affected you personally? Has this ever been something that's been, you've dealt with in your life?
Well, I've definitely had, my sister has a friend that she lost from suicide, but I think, the best part of this festival is seeing how much it has grown since it started, and how much awareness it is bringing, and how much of a difference it is making. So it's very exciting to see the growth in the community and everything. So we're very excited to contribute and even learn from our fellow bands and our fellow humans.
No, absolutely. And especially if you've ever been affected by something, it always is going to mean more. Even if it's not you directly, you're doing it for the people that have, and I know that means a lot to them. So
yeah,
it's huge. And so I know you said your mom plays guitar. Mm-hmm. You play fiddle. Fiddle is the right term.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know, so I have to ask. So
it's this box with strings, and you play it with a stick with hair.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
But me and my sister Kelly Jo, my sister Kelly Jo is the singer, and I've also been teaching her some ukulele over the past few years. So we write a lot of the songs together, and my favorite part, at least, about the band is our sister harmonies.
So, family band, Is Dad involved?
My dad is the roadie.
The roadie? All right. That's okay too. That's
our number one fan.
Number one fan. Exactly. That's awesome. So do you guys travel like a lot, like as a family, or is it just like you two might go this way for a little bit, or, you know, kind of tell me about that aspect of it.
Yeah, in the last like probably 3 years, we've been doing a lot. Obviously not 2020, but previous years we've been doing a lot of traveling. And my dad, when he retired, or right before he retired, he got a big band van, so to help make it easier for us to travel. And
Partridge
now,
Family style?
Like, what's that?
Partridge Family style? Or?
Yeah, it's a big van, and my dad built like shelves in it and everything, and to make it so all of our equipment would be safe in there. And then now he built like a kitchen in there, so him and my mom are traveling around, just living out of their van.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it a lot. I like just hearing from everybody. It is very amazing to hear that there is some connection in some way to, you know, either mental health or suicide, or just the fact that you care so much about it. And I think you guys should all be super, super proud of that. And it's
same common interest, you know. We all want to live a happy life, so might as well unite together. And
more than ever do people need it now. They really do. So I think it's just really cool to see that. And actually, like I said, I haven't met you guys in person, but I can feel that you guys have the positivity and you guys have what you want it to be. So I have one question for each of the bands. They're a different question, so be on your toes, be ready. Coulee boys. Oh yeah, I know. This is going to be a good one. What is your biggest failure as a band, and what did you learn from it?
Oh God!
Whoa!
Shit.
Don't say that.
Biggest failure as a band?
Man.
What about when we like burn that house down? No, I'm joking. I mean,
They can't prove that was us.
Our biggest failure as a band, man, like that is. I mean, like, I don't know if we call it as. I mean, we used to have this van called. We called it Clifford. It's this big red 15-passenger van.
Okay.
That just
First
like,
band van for sure.
Sure.
Just a piece of shit on wheels kind of thing. And sorry.
No, that's what it is and what it is.
We've had like, you know, the saga of all the stuff that we went through with that van. Just, you know, like
I learned how to be a car mechanic.
Yeah.
Because of it.
Like we broke down. I mean, like, it's funny because where we've broken down in that van has tainted those states for the rest of our lives. Like, we hate Nebraska.
The lower part of Idaho.
We hate Idaho, the lower part. But, like, you know, like, and it's just, like, annoying part. I mean, of course, we love Idaho and we love Nebraska. We've played great shows there. But it's just, like, every time we're in that state, it's like, do you remember that one time when we broke down here and it was like a $4,000 fix? And like, my God, like, what are we doing?
It brings back those bonding memories between you guys.
Yeah. You know, I think that's
Really quick, I think the biggest failure we've had is 2 of the 5 of us have driven away from gas pumps with the nozzle still in the van. Yeah,
I don't think you're the only one. Definitely not the only one. So, that's awesome. I appreciate that, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
No, I get it. And that's why I just said I have just an awesome list of questions I always ask people. So I always want to hear that one. Especially as a band. I think that's always kind of an interesting one. But good morning, Bedlam.
Oh God, after that last question.
Oh, it's not that bad. No, don't be nervous. These are not all. I just did it to them because, you know, put them on the spot right away. So good morning, Bedlam. What advice would you give to someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours?
Don't.
For anybody that's not watching this and obviously listening, Soren just looked at me and he goes, "What the?" You know.
That's that's a really good question.
I think.
From
Okay,
a mediocre
so this is not
podcast
necessarily.
host too, just so you know.
This is not necessarily for singer-songwriters, but for people that collaborate in groups and bands. I would say that music is really, really, extremely important, of course, but being good to one another trumps is so much more important than
Right.
is so much more important than that. Even at the end of the day, you can have the best musician in the world on your crew, but if you can't treat each other like family and be good to each other, then it's not the right fit. So I would say be good to one another, and I would say do it a lot.
Yeah.
And to go back to your question to them Coulee boys is, you're going to fail so much.
Yeah.
You're going to fail so much daily, and that is the only way to get good at this career, and to be sustainable and in this career is know that you're going to fail and you're going to fall quite a lot and quite hard. And so if you're good to one another, you can pick each other back up and keep going. And it's about repetition and working hard and being good to one another more than it is just about anything else, I would say.
And that's
being kind to one another.
And that's super important, because especially if you have failure after failure after failure, you can get into a depressive state. It's super easy to do. But even just having one little win, one thing, anything, whatever, playing a driveway show and having somebody say like, yeah, your music really affected me in such a positive way, that's got to be such an amazing thing to hear from people.
Yeah. And I would also say, I think it's something that you hear a lot, but it's kind of hard to, because it's somewhat of a cliche. It's just kind of, you can brush it off, but it's really true. Don't do it because you want to be successful or you want to be accomplished. Because if that's all you're wanting, the whole process is just going to be miserable. You might get to that point. You don't really know. But you gotta love it for loving it. And you gotta love it because it's fulfilling to you, and because you're creating something beautiful, and art indicates beauty and it indicates truth. And that's such an incredible thing. And you gotta be able to enjoy that. Just enjoy being able to do that. Otherwise you're just gonna be really upset. Like you're not famous all the time.
And I would say, to go off of that, just to that goes hand in hand with that. It's definitely a career path it's not a career path of what would you do if you couldn't fail? It's definitely a career path of what would you do even if you might fail?
Yeah.
And if you don't feel that way, then I would give it a second thought. And if you do feel that way, give it your all and just love the process of getting to do it.
Well, and I hope you realize that, doing those things, it really does affect people in a very positive outlook. It really does, because like I said, just watching some of your videos, they're powerful. They're powerful to me in my own way, but they're powerful. And that's something that I think y'all are, I'll edit that. Don't worry. No, it's powerful. It really is. And I think, and I'm glad that you guys have the drive and mission to do that, just like you all do as well. So thank you for that answer. See, that wasn't too bad.
No.
So Jenna and Martin, don't be too scared. Okay. It's not that bad. This is more of a fun one. And I think at least I think it is, but what is one common myth about your profession or field that you want to debunk?
I guess the first thing that I would say that comes to my mind is not all artists think alike.
Yeah.
And they're just simply that.
There's going to be disagreements between people and saying, it's not everything's you're in sync with each other, I'm assuming.
Yeah, just nobody thinks exactly like somebody else. And if you think you know what they're thinking, then you're probably wrong. Well, you're
right.
definitely wrong unless you can read minds. But I don't know what else. That we make I guess everyone knows that we don't make a lot of money.
Yeah, I understand. Understandable. Yes. Yeah. But it's true though, because I think people come into this, let's say you get a good crowd. You're like, oh, this is easy. I could make this no problem. And then you get that failure, and then you get the show probably with, 3 people, but it doesn't matter. Those 3 people are there for you.
Right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm actually a nurse as well. So all my coworkers, they imagine me performing, I think, on like a big stage to all these people. And a few of them have come out to shows before where we're playing at like a coffee shop to very few people. And I think they have been surprised, but then I think at the same time they're amazed. They can tell like how happy I am and how happy we are playing together. And they're like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
We understand how you do this. But I guess also just being on the road, you share all your good, amazing photos, but people don't see when you're like sleeping in the van in 110-degree weather in your venue's parking lot and you really have to go to the bathroom. So, it's great, but it's great, a percentage of the time, but it's a lot of work.
Everyone wants to live in a van or a bus, but
yeah. But obviously it's not always feasible, right?
Yeah.
No,
we lived in a bus for about a year, and that's about all we could do with what we had.
Yeah. But yeah, just, relating back to what you said earlier, you really have to love it. And I think we try to just, show people that how much we love playing whenever we're performing and just inspire people to go and follow their passion and love it. And, it makes us happy. And it's kind of one of those things where it's not a choice. We just feel like this is what we were meant to do. And I think that's also part of the cosmic part with our music is just, this is our cosmic path we have to be on. So we're doing it.
I love that you guys use that word. I do. I love it so much. I don't know why it resonates with me. I just think I like it. So, and props to you for being a nurse right now. Seriously. I hope you understand that, how important that is. I can't imagine what you as a nurse are doing every single day, just constantly gloving up, mask on, everything. So major props to you for that.
Thanks.
And last, again, but not least, Georgia. Don't worry, it's not too bad, but it's not that bad. Don't worry. All right. So now, how long have you been in this business for before I ask this question?
Well, my mom used to book all our shows because we started the band when I was 12. We started the band because my dad actually got laid off and I needed some money for a fiddle lesson. So we started playing at nursing homes. My mom was the main business person, but I took that over about 3 or 4 years maybe. So I've been doing all the booking, I think, at least 3 years.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then this is actually very applicable to you as far as now that you've taken over a lot of the booking and stuff. But what's one thing you wish you'd have known when you began your career?
Let me think about this. Because there's a lot.
I'm sure.
There's a lot of things you learn along the way that you're like, dang, I wish I would have known that. Okay, here's one thing. You don't always have a clear path. You don't always have a clear vision of like I know that I want to play with people I love, and I know I want to meet cool people and bands, and I know I want to play festivals and play certain venues, but I don't always know that exact path of how it's going to get there. So I guess the biggest thing that I have learned is like that I guess all the failures eventually turn into opportunities.
How weird is that the first question I asked always comes into other people, but it's true though. I think you guys all share that really amazing connection. And
I guess if there's like that one thing that I wish I just knew is like you gotta fail. You gotta fail, or else you're doing something wrong. If you're doing everything right, then it's like, what am I doing wrong?
No, I think that's very important, and it's really amazing to really hear all of these stories from everybody. It really is. I think if it's not my cup of tea or it's not somebody's cup of tea, it's definitely someone else's. So it doesn't matter if you're playing for that one person or you're playing for thousands.
Right.
Somebody's there for you.
Know exactly how your music is going to affect someone. Like, you can write a million songs, and the song that you hate the most, like, oh, I can't believe I wrote that. You don't even know that might affect someone, like, in a really positive way.
I think,
like, there's a lot of songs, like, the first original song that we ever put on an album was like one of the first songs I wrote. It was called Life is Like a Dream. And the main thing is, like, life is like a dream. I hope I never wake up because this beauty's enough. And, like, now I, like, cringe at the lyrics. But I have, like, a few people that, and it's, of course, my most cringiest song. And it's on Spotify as our most listened to song. And I have people that are just like, oh, this song is great. I'm like, wow, I'm glad you can see the beauty in that, like, 13-year-old.
Yeah. Well, even if you don't like it, you're going to have to keep playing it, unfortunately. So sorry.
Right. Like, there's affected people, and they, said they really like it, and it's changed their life or whatever. So it's like, okay, I'll keep playing it for you.
I can imagine that. It's just, it's got to be insane, You think, like, how many times has Paul McCartney played Hey Jude before? And he thinks he's like, God, I really hate this song after the 3 millionth time I've played it. But the thing is, think of how many that affects. It affects so many people. But let's do this. So, them Coulee boys.
Yes.
What'd you just drop?
Scissors on my foot. It's okay. We're fine.
I was saying, are you
later?
We
throwing
require
scissors
code shoots here. Yeah.
Yeah, good. So, okay, for each of you, last question, and then give me all of how people can get connected with you. Last question. Favorite musical artist?
Name one. My favorite band is Dawes. I love them. Yeah.
I would have to say Old Crow Medicine Show.
Okay.
The Avett Brothers.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Good. Now, how do people get in touch with you? How do they get connected to you?
However you want. We're 715-533. You can get us on themcouleeboys.com. Coulee is Coulee. It's a valley with river in it. Themcouleeboys.com, Facebook, Them Coulee Boys. We're on Instagram.
Yep.
We have a Twitter, but that we never use. We made a Snapchat one time, and after one drunken weekend, we
you got banned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds right.
We couldn't have that anymore.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But feel free to reach out. We love talking to people. So no worries.
Fantastic. All right. All the socials. So, favorite band or favorite artist?
The Avett Brothers, hands down.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Perfect.
I also love Wild Child. But...
Yep. Avett Brothers, Wild Child.
Oh
Those the Oh Hellos. Those are our top 3 bands.
There you go.
Both individually and as a band.
Yeah.
But that's cool. That just shows how in sync you usually are with each other. That's your passion. How do people get in touch with you and your band? I'm assuming all the socials as well, but what do you got?
Oh, our story is almost exactly the same as Them Coulee Boys. Basically, website, goodmorningbedlam.com, Facebook, Instagram. We are really, really good responders, and our Twitter is
dead.
It's sad, but you can also reach out on there.
Sure.
Yeah, you can try. And we have a TikTok.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Not for long.
Right. Yeah, we'll see.
Bedlam is BEDLAM.
So no, thank you guys so much for that, and I appreciate it. So Jenna and Martin, favorite artist or band?
You want me to go first? Sure. All right. I guess I'll choose. Well, I love Clarence White. He's got his hand had his hand in the bluegrass world and the country world, and so that includes the Byrds too.
Yeah.
Anything by the Byrds, but also anything that Dave Cobb is producing. Like, I'm a huge fan of right now. Ian No, also the new Jason Isbell record and the new Laurie McKenna record, both incredible.
Awesome.
He's doing Dawes one that's coming out in like a month too. Yeah. He's the best.
He's doing everybody now.
Nice.
Yeah.
In demand.
It's gonna be the best one yet.
There you
What do
go.
you say?
I'm gonna go with Merle Haggard and Casey Musgraves. One living, one dead. Okay, and you can get in touch with us. Our website is jennamartinduo.com.
And you can also find out we have like our own solo careers. Jenna Ray has a record out called Working Woman, and I got one under Martin Farrell Jr. called Tales from the Outer Country. And I'm going to be putting out a new record this year called Coffee and Laundry. And what else? Instagram, Cosmic Western Duo, I think we are as Instagram.
Yeah.
Is that right? You can find us.
Well, just search for them. You'll find them. Like I said, or click the show notes. They're in
We're
there.
in a lot of places.
There you go. Right? No, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I do appreciate it. And again, Georgia, last but not least, I don't know why I keep saying that, but how about you? Favorite artist, band?
I usually say Avett Brothers.
Well, you can say that. It's
No, but I have a lot of different. I cycle through a lot of different stuff, but I guess a lot of my songwriting influence comes from Avett Brothers. But I've been really into Fiona Apple lately. Ooh. I was gonna say one more. I don't know. I like Fish too.
Okay. No, I like I said, that's
and Bill Withers maybe.
Yeah. You know what? To each their own. That's all it is. That's all I ever say. How do people get in touch with you?
Georgia Ray / Georgia Ray Family Band on Facebook is where I'm most active. But then I also got a website, GeorgiaRayFamilyBand.com. And yeah, those places I'm most active. But I've got Instagram, Georgia Ray, GRFB, and Georgia Ray Family Band. So all that stuff.
All of that. No, I can't thank you guys enough. And Robert, don't think you're getting out of this question either. As far as, like I said, the organization, you've put these fine, amazing bands together to say, like, this is for the cause. This is what it is. And just from having the hour and 15 minutes we've been talking, you guys are just generally the most warm people that you can imagine. And I think it's really thoughtful and amazing that you guys dedicate yourselves, one, to your performances, to your music, but two, you are so humble enough to say, this is for people. This is not just for me. You're doing this because it's your passion, but at the same time, you are helping so many more people than you'll realize. So thank you all for that. And Robert, favorite band of all time or artist?
That's difficult because I kind of bounce all over the place. I mean, by default, these 4 bands have pretty much been the only thing I've been listening to for the last 4 months. So
sure.
The lead up to it, like vetting all the bands and then just consistently through the library and stuff. So
don't worry. I won't ask you who's your favorite out of the 4. I won't.
All right.
You can text us later.
Yeah, text them later.
My kids are even like wandering around the house singing the songs because they hear it so much.
Yeah.
So it's been great. I mean, music has been a huge part of my life for a long time. And the way that I feel about it is music is the universal language. You don't have to understand the words to understand the intention. And these 4 bands really embody that. Getting to watch the kind of content they've been putting out since everybody went into this lockdown. The one word that really can embody what they've done is inspirational. From the Enough video that Good Morning Bedlam put out, and just this touching montage of connection and family, to Idiot that them Coulee boys put out, and just the fun-loving nature of that. And the influence to the videos on like mountaintops in Wyoming that Jenna and Martin put out there, or seeing Georgia Ray doing fiddling tricks on a unicycle or hula hooping while playing. The content is so diverse, but it all strikes at the same chord. It's all hopeful. It's all inspiring to listen to, and it's just the kind of energy that we really need right now. Which I can't think of a better reason to tune in on 6 and listen to the virtual concert, because you're going to have some of the most inspiring music. You're going to have musicians that can really touch you with the music that they create. And it's an event for the family. It's an opportunity for us you don't have to come to us and buy beverages. You can go to your own refrigerator and enjoy the music and enjoy this eclectic and diverse collection of outstanding artists and outstanding people.
That is the best way to sum up these 4 bands. They really are. It's amazing how right now, as distant as we all are, how connected we can all feel. And I think it's a very powerful thing that everybody is doing here. I can't thank you guys enough from the bottom of my heart for our organization. Thank you, plain and simple. So,
thanks for having us.
Of course. So, Robert, how do we find Just Live? How do they get in contact with Labor of Love?
Absolutely. So the Labor of Love Music Festival will be virtual this year out of the North Coast Center for the Arts in Waukesha, Wisconsin. We'll be streaming on various platforms that we'll be releasing soon, so you can find that information there on our Facebook page or on our website, which is justliveinc.org. That's JUSTLIVEINC.org. We'll have updates there. The festival will be roughly from noon to 6 live feed that day, but we will be presenting the individual sets by the bands later on as well, so you get an opportunity. We do have a GoFundMe going on right now, so if you have the opportunity to give or at least spread the word and help, every little bit helps this year, especially since we don't have the physical festival. We don't have the same means we normally do to fundraise.
Yep.
So every little bit you can contribute really helps us out, and that GoFundMe is on our website as well.
Absolutely. Like I said, I will definitely make sure we advertise as much as we can about this. And it's very important. Again, I can't reiterate that enough. And especially I deal with mental illness myself. So hearing stories, hearing people talk about that they go through the same things and that you're not alone. Thank you all so much for that. And like I said, we'll advertise that as much as we can, and we'll get people going for it. So again, thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
A huge thank you to all of the bands, Georgia Ray Family Band, Jenna and Martin, Good Morning Bedlam, and them Coulee boys. And especially thank you again to the president of Just Live, Robert. I forgot you in the intro, so I'm sorry about that. All of their information is down below in the show notes. And if you want to donate to Labor of Love for the concert, they have a GoFundMe page, which is also down there. Any little bit helps, because in this time we need people to step up and say that, look, there is an epidemic that's going on, but it's not COVID. It's mental health and suicide, and it's only getting worse. So let's step up, let's do it together, and let's just live. If you like the podcast today, make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever you're on. It helps the podcast, and it only helps growing the message that we at the center try to promote and we try to completely integrate ourselves into. So make sure you get this word out there. Visit us on all of our social pages. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Twitch. All are at Center for Suicide Awareness in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. You just got to Google it. You'll find it. But we're, again, Center for Suicide Awareness in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. I had somebody come up to me the other day and they said that they really appreciated that I was doing the podcast and that I was really promoting the Hope Line. And they said they use it quite frequently. And it's really amazing that in this time we have a spot that at least you can go to that's free. And I had to stop and really think about that, because how many people are struggling right now financially? And it's got to be such a burden. And you can't help but not feel for that. So we do offer the Hope Line. It's a text-based support service, free of charge, that you just got to use from your cell phone. All you got to do is text Hope Line to 741-741, and you'll be connected to a trained counselor to talk about any issue that maybe you're anxious about. Maybe you're just feeling depressed. Maybe you don't know what you're feeling. It's an ear to listen, and it's a trained ear to listen. So take advantage of it. We really, really want you to use it. And we've seen the growth in it since this pandemic has started. So text Hope Line to 741-741. If you have questions, comments, concerns about the podcast, feel free to message me. Aaron at centerforsuicideawareness.org. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear if you have an idea for a possible guest, or if you want to be a guest yourself. Let me know. We'll make it happen. Again, this podcast is run for you. I can't thank you all enough for tuning in with me week in and week out. I put a lot of work into these podcasts, doing the editing, and I know it's not always perfect, but people listen to it, and I see that, and it means a lot to me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so, so much. And we do have a couple really good podcasts coming up in the next few weeks. I really don't want to spoil it, and you're just going to have to wait. But in about 2 weeks, you're going to have a really good one, and I am super excited to bring it to you. So check our socials. I'll probably tease it on there a little bit, but again, I'm really, really excited for it. So as always, be kind to one another. Be kind. You are loved and you are important. And remember, you are not alone. Take care, everybody. Bye.